Bulls Nation, I've been waiting to talk about this topic for quite a long time. And the reason why I haven't done it, and the reason why it took so long for me to do it, is because I really wanted to wait and give it some time until I could talk about the progress the Chicago Bulls have made, and more specifically in the management positions. Artorias, Eversley, all the people in the background, maybe not be seen or heard of, may not have even been talked about, the progression of this team from the management side of the game for the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, we've had one of the best free agency periods I think we've ever had with the Chicago Bulls, and that is truly saying a lot. And I want to give my opinions on some of the things that have happened with the front office side of things, and let's talk about it in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls related video referring to the management side of the game for the Chicago Bulls. I'm talking about Artorias, I'm talking about Mark Eversley, I'm talking about all the people in the back that are working tirelessly on making these moves for the Chicago Bulls to make us a winning team on the court. And I want to see and I want to discuss the positives and the negatives, and overall just how well they've done for the Chicago Bulls and what I would like to see going forward with this team and with obviously our management. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls management and how well they did. The front office of this team has been changed from obviously the Jim Boylan days and of the Garpax days and all of these things. We've gone into a new direction, and so far, so good. I want to talk about what they talked about a while ago during free agency. They talked about being aggressive and being ruthless in their pursuit of players. And ladies and gentlemen, for someone that is really interested in trying to make this team better in Artorias and in Eversley, and trying to make this team take that next level that they want to be winning so badly. Again, they want to win badly. They've said that numerous times. They want to be a winning team and they're going to build a winning franchise. I don't think they've let us down whatsoever. Of course, there can be negatives to every deal that we make. That's always going to be the case, and I can tell you that, and I can tell you the positives as well. But at this moment of the time that we speak, they said they want to be aggressive in their pursuit for players and they want to desperately win games for the Chicago Bulls. So far, it looks like we have a team now that can win games, and they've gone very aggressive in pursuing players. And we'll talk about how positively that's impacted the Chicago Bulls. First things first, we'll talk about some of the positives, and we'll talk about some of the negatives as well. But for the positives, we'll talk about the Lonzo Ball deal. Lonzo Ball has been linked to the Chicago Bulls for, I feel like, ages. And the fact that they got it over the line on the first day of the free agency period is pretty outstanding. But also, let's be honest, they are being investigated for tampering. So I feel like every team in the NBA at one stage or another has tampered, and we have just been caught in the crossfire by how quickly we've done this deal. But nevertheless, as I've said numerous times, I don't think Lonzo Ball is going to be, I guess, devoted from the Chicago Bulls. I don't see him returning to the Pelicans because of this whole tampering investigation. I see us copping a pretty large fine and we move on from that situation. However, we've been linked for Lonzo Ball for a long time, so I feel like this was probably the most obvious move for the Bulls front office to make. He's clearly the player that fits the needs in that position. He's clearly the player that could get better and better and better. He's clearly the player that can be a natural point guard. And just overall, he suits our team so much better than what most other guards around the league would. So Lonzo Ball was the most obvious player, and the fact that we got our most wanted player, to be honest, Lonzo Ball is by far our most wanted player. The fact that we got him pretty quickly is a very big step in the right direction. I mean, how many free agents have we actually went after that we truly wanted? Because I feel like back in the day, Carmelo Anthony is an example here. We truly wanted Carmelo Anthony. I have no question in my mind that we wanted Carmelo Anthony right before I believe he re-signed with the Knicks. And we should have been very heavily on that pursuit. And again, that's an example of a really good superstar level at times free agent that didn't come to the Chicago Bulls despite being very interested. And he's openly said he was interested in joining the Chicago Bulls at the time. And we didn't get the job done. We didn't get that player. When it comes to free agency targets, what we've been linked to, what we've wanted with the old regime, we've never been able to get. In the first year, Lonzo Ball was the main priority. He's not an all-star. He's not a superstar player. He can get there, but we got him pretty quickly. We got him easily as well. And the fact that he wanted to come here as well, and he felt like he would be most appreciated on this team, just shows how far we've come in terms of acquiring talent on the Chicago Bulls. We've sucked at that for so long, and that's flipped on a dime within one free agency period. That's the key thing here. The fact that we had to give up, I believe we gave up Garrett Temple at Satoransky as well. I mean, I think that's basic business for the Chicago Bulls. Heist of the century in many ways. The Pelicans fans even said that as well. But at the end of the day, that's probably the easiest, probably the most obvious, and of course, the most effective move that I think we've done in the free agency period. Demar Derozan was a player out of the blue in its entirety. I could not believe how sudden that came. It literally, we were linked to him for a day, I would say, and then the next day he was a Chicago Bull. And to be honest, of course, Demar Derozan is probably the most well-known signing. He's obviously the signing of the summer for the Chicago Bulls. Lonzo Ball might be the signing that we desperately needed, but Demar Derozan is a luxury player that comes to this team and instantly makes us a winning team, put us in a situation where we could be a top 4 team, or we could be a team that fights in every single playoff round that we play in and participate in. We could be that team. With DeMar DeRozan, that makes us that team. We have another all-star. We have 3 all-stars on this team at the moment for the Chicago Bulls. 3 all-star caliber players. With DeMar DeRozan, we gave up a lot to acquire him, especially at the age of 32. Thaddeus Young, very sad one to see go. And we gave up a good draft compensation for them as well. And obviously, we gave up Al-Farouq Aminu, which I don't have too much to say on. But DeMar DeRozan, again, another great deal, and a deal that came out of nowhere. This is a deal where if you truly believe your team is ready to win, you go and get DeMar DeRozan. You go and get a player that will just solidify that you're a great team in this league. DeMar DeRozan was one of the best talents available in free agency. You had players like Kyle Lowry, obviously Kevin Durant re-signed, he extended his contract, Kawhi Leonard was available, and all those players were available. But DeMar DeRozan was, in my opinion, one of the best open talent that was ready to leave their team. And it was a sign and trade, but we managed to get DeMar DeRozan on the Chicago Bulls, and he wanted to come here as well. Again, another player that wanted to come to the Chicago Bulls. This just shows Eversley and Artorias know what they're doing in the negotiation process, knowing what they're doing when it comes to negotiating and trying to lure players into the project of the Chicago Bulls. There was talk, and again, DeMar has said this himself, that Mark Eversley was the only general manager to fly his way to LA to sit down with DeMar DeRozan and talk about their team, talk about the project, talk about the Chicago Bulls. Not one GM wanted to go and do that for DeMar DeRozan. They had Zoom sessions, but all he wanted was one face-to-face confrontation, one face-to-face negotiation, and that's pretty much what made the decision for him to join the Chicago Bulls, because considering he was already willing to join us. That was what got us over the line. That's the dedication that they have. That was obviously the desperation to get a player like DeMar DeRozan. You don't see, again, how many GMs did that? Maybe even the GMs in LA didn't do that. So let's be honest, we willed our way to that signing, and he was fully convinced by the hard work that we did to acquire him and obviously the talent we had on that team. That's beautiful. And again, it goes to show that the negotiation process and the front office has changed so much that players are starting to respect what we can do at the management side of the game, which I feel like teams really look into. Players really look into. Players want to know that where they're going is going to be a stable environment. It's not going to be an environment that's a complete joke and a complete mess. And you see those teams that are a complete joke, that are a complete mess, never succeed. And I'm not going to give examples of teams because I'm not trying to disrespect teams, but you know the teams. You know there are teams out there that front office are a complete joke of a front office, and they don't succeed. They rarely make the playoffs, and they never become a solid team. And whenever they do become a solid team, they do mess it up. We're changing that way of thinking for the Chicago Bulls because we were one of those front offices. And the fact that it's changed and the fact that we've changed as an organization goes to show we're serious about this. And I do want to mention negatives. We have given up a lot of draft picks. A lot of draft picks during this free agency class and the Nikola Vucevic trade as well in the trade deadline. That is obviously, again, many people have been talking about the Bulls are selling their future. And the draft, I can see that being the case, but I feel that our future is in Patrick Williams. Our future is in Kobe White. Our future is in players off of that bench that do have somewhat potential. Even Io is someone that I believe our future is dependent on. We have our future there. They just need to develop into the present. But the draft is something that I believe the Chicago Bulls should definitely be looking at as well to add more talent into this team. I mean, once again, when Nikola Vucevic, he's 30 years old. When he gets up there in age, or we feel like he's someone that we need to think about replacing, and I'm talking about years in advance here, we're going to need those draft picks that we may have given away. And at the end of the day, I've never been too worried about 2023 first round pick, 2024 first round pick, because again, I've always said, during the time that we feel like we need to get into that draft class, the Chicago Bulls can trade into that draft class. So I'm not bothered, but I do feel like many people can see that as a negative, and I do feel like that is something I need to mention. Many people have considered us trading away that we traded away our future, and maybe to an extent they do have a point, but hopefully the future of this team is already on this team, and that's Patrick Williams, Io, Kobe White. Even players like maybe Tony Bradley could have a decent standing on this team. We'll see. But at the end of the day, I feel like our future is here. It's just time to develop them properly. And another thing I do want to talk about, this Larry Markkinen situation. Now, by the time I make this video, maybe something happens with Larry Markkinen. I really don't know at this point. And the fact that I'm going to keep predicting it and keep on saying, wait and see, I'm tired of waiting and seeing. I've kind of just lost all interest in the Larry Markkinen situation, which reflects badly on this front office in many ways, because this could have been done a lot sooner. This could have been done at a very quiet way. We didn't need Larry Markkinen unfollowing us on social media. We didn't need him saying he wanted a fresh start. If this was dealt with quickly and this was dealt swiftly, we may have got a better return for Larry Markkinen. And at the end of the day, it is Larry Markkinen's fault as well. 100% this is Larry Markkinen's fault as well. He's tried to bank on himself and it failed. And that's definitely something he has to live with at the end of the day, because now he's made himself an unpopular person, I would say, for the Chicago Bulls. He's made himself a very unpopular person on this team. And many people will not see him in the same light as they used to. I'm one of those people. Yes, I like Larry Markkinen. I think he has tremendous offensive potential. You know, I think he could be something in this league. However, the things that he's done throughout this free agency period makes him an unlikable player in my eyes. I don't really like what he's been doing, the way that he's been handling his situation. And the front office is also playing a part in that. The front office holding out and trying to use their leverage to get a better deal, in the end, could end up affecting us, and he may as well just be here. He may as well be here next year, because it's taken so long to get these deals over the line. And there were some good deals there. And again, both of them combined have really unsettled this team. And all I'm hoping for now, in terms of the Larry Markkinen aspect, if he does stay on this team, I hope he's professional enough to not ruin the locker room of this team, the morale of the locker room. And I feel like Larry Markkinen is a very positive person. When he speaks to the social media and he speaks to the press, he doesn't seem like a guy that's going to whinge and complain to other players and about that situation. He seems like a positive person. He seems like someone that is often very happy with where he is. And hopefully, if he does stay on this team, he will continue to have that mindset going into the rest of the season. But we'll wait and see. By the time this video comes out, maybe something will happen with Larry Markkinen. But that's definitely a negative for the front office and AK and Eversley. Overall, what do I feel like? How well did they do? I mean, put it this way. When was the last time we had a free agency like this? Give me a year where we had a free agency period like this, where we got the player that we needed the most. We also got one of the top talents in free agency. Pau Gasol, maybe you could put him in that category, but Pau Gasol was someone that was nearing the end of his career. He gave us some very good years at his age, but overall, probably not the player that I think we're most interested in at that position. We could have got after D-Wade and LeBron James. Remember that? We could have had D-Wade and LeBron James. Unfortunately, they went to the Heat. I don't know if that was the Bulls front office or whatnot. But again, that's another missed opportunity the Bulls should have capitalized on. Maybe D-Wade? I think many people reflect negatively on D-Wade's time with the Chicago Bulls and that Rondo and Butler team. Of course, D-Wade's my favorite player, so I'll never speak badly about him. But yeah, when was the last time we truly had a free agency period like this? where we got players that we wanted. We got players that will be here for a long term and the future. We also got one of the best players in the free agency period. Name me a year. Give me a free agency class or free agency period where we did similar things to what we did here. Probably back in the 90s, I'd say. That's probably the best way to put it. And at the end of the day, that's a long, long time. That's a long time of waiting, and it's a long time of failed opportunities, missed opportunities. Better yet, how many draft opportunities have we missed with that old regime? We missed out on a lot of talent when it comes to the draft. There's such people that we've traded, like LaMarcus Aldridge, all the way down to just missed opportunities in general. We've done a lot of negative things when it comes to the draft and free agency. Simple as that. We can't hide from that. It's something that's inevitable. It was always going to happen. And again, in hindsight's a beautiful thing, because now looking back on it, the Chicago Bulls drafted Patrick Williams. Many people enjoy that pick. The Chicago Bulls drafted Marco. Many people think he's talented. The Chicago Bulls drafted Io, a steal from his position, 38th pick. Are you serious? That's an incredible pick for someone of that went down that late. Unbelievable. And not only that, the Chicago Bulls have done business in the trade deadline. Serious business, I should say, as well. That Daniel Tice trade was an absolute steal. And although he's not here anymore, what a trade that was. Nikola Vucevic, very good trade. Wendell Carter, of course, player I'm going to miss, but very good trade, to say the least. Getting rid of Otto Porter's contract, something I never thought we'd be able to do. And free agency. One of the best free agencies I've witnessed as a Chicago Bulls fan. I may be a young Chicago Bulls fan. I'm 21. I haven't seen the best of the Chicago Bulls era. The best period of my basketball days is that Derrick Rose period. And at the end of the day, I feel like this front office let a lot of those players down, and they've let a lot of players down in general. But this new front office is picking up what they've missed out on, or what they've dropped. All of the damage they've caused, our new front office is picking up. I'm very excited to see what happens next season. I've rambled and ranted on for a little bit, and I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Overall, they've absolutely smashed it, is what I'm trying to say. They obliterated the free agency period. They've obliterated the trade deadline, and they've obliterated the draft. And in my opinion, this is a sign of things that is going to change around here. Ruthless in pursuit of their players and desperately becoming a winning team. And I think we're going to see both in the future as well. Just because free agency may be close to an end does not mean the business is over for the Chicago Bulls. The business never ends, and we'll always be working to make this team better. And that is something you can bet on. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.
It's not a game, it's a rich